An urgent letter to the President of the Republic of the Philippines. April 3, 2018. President Rodrigo Roa Duterte. Malacanang Palace. JP Laurel Street, San Miguel, Manila 1005. Dear Mr. President, I'm writing to ask that your administration adopt the goal of allowing at least 100 million Filipinos to be the beneficiaries of the Alpha Omega World Development Marshall Program's AOWDMP Global Flagship Anti-Poverty Programs in accordance with the United Nations Economic and Social Council ECOSOC Article 55, to wit Charter of the United Nations / Chapter 9. With a view to the creation of conditions of stability and well-being which are necessary for peaceful and friendly relations among nations, based on respect for the principle of equal rights and self-determination of peoples, the United Nations shall promote a. Higher standards of living, full employment, and conditions of economic and social progress and development. b. Solutions of international economic, social, health, and related problems, and international cultural and educational cooperation, and c. Universal respect for, and observance of, human rights and fundamental freedoms for all without distinction as to race, sex, language, or religion. Honorable Fred Ruz Castro, then Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of the Philippines, administered my oath of office on August 11, 1978, identifying me as Tiburcio Villamor Marcos with a code name of TVMLSM 666 and Prince Julian Overbeck Macleod Tolano's last successor heir in the sole ownership of Hacienda Filipina Archipelago and the founder of the Alpha Omega Global Marshall Program, or the AOWDMP in accordance with the ECOSOC Article 55. Prior to his stint as Chief Justice 1976 to 1979, Attorney Fred Ruz Castro notarized on August 11, 1950 the bilateral Minesfield Breakthrough Successor Agreement BMBSA in favor of Tiburcio Villamor Marcos codenamed TVMLSM 666. The expired BMBSA, which refers to the 60-year Gold Reserve Loan Program from 1950 to 2010, was the agreement between Tiburcio Villamor Marcos codenamed TVMLSM 666 and the people of the Republic of the Philippines officially represented by His Excellency Elpidio Rivera Quirino and Honorable Miguel Pacial Cuaderno Sr. as the first governor of the Central Bank of the Philippines CBP. I fully assure you that the Supreme Court of the Philippines and the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas BSP have copies of my oath of office and the BMBSA in their record sections, respectively. The new BSP have copies of the relevant certificates, which were officially issued by the old CBP. Letter to President Rodrigo Roa Duterte, April 3, 2018, page 2 of 7. Shortly after President Manuel Rojas assumed office in 1946, he instructed then Finance Secretary Miguel Cuaderno Sr. to draw up a charter for a central monetary authority that resulted into the establishment of the CBP on January 3, 1949. The Congress attested the BMBSA in accordance with Republic Act 265, the Central Bank Act of 1948, which was approved by then President Quirino. The BMBSA identifies me as the true successor heir/owner/sole signatory who is responsible for providing information regarding the verified history of ownership followed by the issuance of the Certificate of Entitlement, Master Account Code authenticated by the Federal Reserve System in coordination with the U.S. Treasury, World Bank and International Monetary Fund. The BMBSA is directly linked with the Certificate of Entitlement embodied in the Gift of Love proclaimed by then-President Quirino since August 11, 1949, and assisted by then-Central Bank Governor Miguel Cuaderno Sr. Truthfully, the original CBP officially issued on October 4, 1976 The Certificate of Entitlement under the Proclamation Gift Love CR 1949 with Special Trust Deposit Agreement through the International Banking Law Availment, verifying a grand total of 1,181,336,675 metric tons of King Solomon's gold, precious stone and real estate property covered by the original certificate of title. OCT-01-4 consisting of 7,169 islands and islets under the umbrella master account code 010227408EVMLSM666 deposited in trust in various bullion banks around the world, intended to back up the managerial paper's currency. In accordance with Republic Act 265 adapted in the International Banking Availment, I officially signed as successor heir/owner/sole signatory the said certificate of entitlement. As then Chief Justice, Honorable Fred Ruiz Castro also signed the certificate of entitlement. The CBP officially issued on September 11, 1985 the certificate of entitlement and special trust deposit for the backup of managerial papers currency, based on real estate with the OCT-01-4. And the 1,181,336,675 metric tons of King Solomon's gold, which I inherited from my Roman ancestor Trajan. The certificate was signed by then President Ferdinand E. Marcos as my legal counsel and Mr. Cesar Emilio Echeverria as Minister of Finance. A copy of the delivery receipts original dated August 11, 1950 reveals that the 400,000 metric tons of gold with gold certificate number 083030L50 was delivered to the CBP's Treasury vault. Based on the delivery receipt, the 400,000 metric tons of gold are integral part of the Bilateral Memorandum of Agreement or the BMBSA, tax-free, without criminal origin, and covered by the global immunities in these 5 treaties is Treaty of Perpetual, Treaty of Paris, Treaty of Versailles, and Treaty of Agreement. The delivery receipt was confirmed by then Central Bank Governor K.O.R.AN, and then President K.O.R.AN, and signed by Attorney Fred Ruiz Castro as Notary Public. The said 400,000 metric tons of gold were derived from King Solomon's 1,181,336,675 metric tons of gold that were delivered in the Philippines in 1946. The 1950 BMBSA is my loan program of King Solomon's immense gold for all countries, in order to back up their respective currencies. Letter to President Rodrigo Roa Duterte, April 3, 2018, page 3 of 7. The said delivery receipt also identifies me as Tiburcio Villamor Marcos TVM, who is sole/owner/signatory. According to the delivery receipt, my ancestor great-grandfather is King Felipe or Philip II, who was King of Spain, King of Portugal, King of Naples and Sicily, Duke Saurus King of England and Ireland, and his alias is King Luis Antillano, who was the ruler of Mahalaca, Philippines, which is one of many kingdoms in Asia. When the Spaniards started ruling the Philippine archipelago, they renamed it Hacienda Filipina, which was owned by King Philip II. I inherited from King Philip II the sole ownership of Hacienda Filipina Archipelago with the British original certificate of title 01-4, which was issued by the Royal Crown of England in the 18th century. As written in the delivery receipt, my grandfather is King Ferdinand VII of Spain, also known as Don Armando Villamor, and others, and my grandmother is Queen Isabel II of Spain. King Ferdinand 70H's daughter is Enamisha Cruzan Villamor, Royal Princess of Spain, who is the first spouse of attorney Ferdinand Emmanuel Edrelin Marcos Sr. and my father, who became president from 1965 to 1986. In fact, my parents, Princess Anna Misha and Attorney Marcus, officially signed as my representative and my legal counsel, respectively. The 1950 BMBSA as then president. Attorney Marcus also signed the Certificate of Entitlement issued in 1976. The BMBSA was also officially signed by former President Sergio Osman Sr. as mandate of the Cruz-Villamor-Talanas family clan property OCT-01-4, and Attorney Fred Ruz Castro as Vice Chairman of the Philippine National Bank, and others. As Chairman of the Federal Reserve System, that is the gold bullion bank of the world, my first and foremost mission is to return all fiat monies into gold standard, or be backed up by physical commodities gold, diamonds, platinum, etc. worldwide. Fiat money is a Mickey Mouse money. Your administration cannot unilaterally renew the BMBSA's Gold Loan Reserve Program, which officially expired on August 11, 2010, without my proper permission for the renewal of the agreement. I encourage you to fully support and assist me in the establishment of the new CBP. The original CBP was established by Princess Anna Misha, who is my mother, in 1949. The BSP was established on July 3, 1993 pursuant to the provision of Republic Act 7653 or the new Central Bank Act of 1993, so the BSP is distinct from the original CBP. However, my assets, 400,000 metric tons of gold, have been placed in the BSP's custody since 1993. Unfortunately, then President Abnoy conspired with Mr. Armando Maglalang Tatanco Jr. and others to illegally print at least $3 trillion in Thailand, based on my 3,500 metric tons of gold, and more or less 50 trillion pesos without valid treasure backup. Undeniably, the BSP is untrustworthy for the agreement's renewal, because Mr. Tatanco is still running as a crook or a crock the BSP in the background according to a reliable source. As the global funder, I will fully implement the Ethereum crypto digital currency internal decentralized autonomous organizational governance system in the near future. The new BSP has a vital role in the agreement's renewal vis-à-vis the said system, which is vastly superior to conventional corruption-prone currencies or fiat monies. Letter to President Rodrigo Roa Duterte, April 3, 2018, page 4 of 7. Mr. President, to this end, I request that you consider the following for the extraordinary benefit of at least 100 million Filipinos and the future unborn generations in exchange of your full cooperation with me as my fellow implementer of the ECOSOC Article 55 with reference to the BMBSA, etc. Initiate a Malacanang Palace-led effort to officially work in partnership with me as chairman of the AOWDMP, to determine the best strategies, programs, and policies needed to meet the goal of uplifting the dignity of every Filipino from here and abroad. Direct Mr. Nestor Aldevas Panilla Jr., Governor of the BSP, to officially coordinate with me and my official representatives in the immediate lawful monetization of at least 300 trillion pesos, based on my gold bullion backup of 100,000 metric tons, a portion of the 400,000 metric tons of King Solomon's gold deposited in trust in the BSP's underground treasury vaults in Quezon City in Manila. Demonetize the current fiat Philippine peso, Mickey Mouse play money, to be immediately replaced by a gold-based currency to finance the massive humanitarian and national economic development programs, livelihood, scholarship, healthcare, annuity, infrastructure, agricultural, mining, and industrial. Establish a comprehensive social welfare development fund with the allocation of 5 million pesos per Filipino, from the newly born to the oldest, based on the proceeds of the monetization of at least 300 trillion pesos in the BSP. Offer a full range of upgrades for the armed forces of the Philippines, military training and recruitment, hardware, weaponry, logistics, etc. based on the said proceeds. Undertake massive infrastructure development regarding the construction of roads, railways, mass housing, public schools, malls, hotels, etc., and the implementation of effective environmental planning, waste management, water distillation and free water, and the appropriate utilization of our natural resources, etc. Stop all destructive mining operations and excavations nationwide, and promote the deuterium for clean energy, which is a high-potent environmentally friendly fuel that could possibly replace conventional or fossil fuel gas. Partner with the Hyundai Engineering and Construction Company Limited, Hyundai Heavy Industries Company Limited, the world's largest shipbuilding company, and Bechtel Corporation Engineering, Construction and Project Management in building tunnels, bridges, 500 ports and piers including shipyards for boats, cargo ships, and vessels. Invite the Lockheed Martin, Grumman, and Eurofloat to formally establish their new stamping plants in the Philippines for the production and operation of state-of-the-art planes for commercial, industrial, and military purposes. Associate the Republic of the Philippines as a voting member of G20 to 23H World LSM Alpha Omega countries, to be the most influential country in the world. Fully support and assist you with your plans for federalism regarding your massive Dutertenomics golden age of infrastructure or your build program, which is linked with the People's Republic of China's One Belt and One Road initiative. Letter to President Rodrigo Roa Duterte, April 3, 2018, page 5 of 7. As the BSP governor, Mr. Espinilla may confirm that the CBP issued on October 4, 1976 the Certificate of Depositor Ownership Trusteeship in trust to 9 World Banks and 7 International Monetary Fund IMF with a sum of $300 followed by 39 zeros, and protected by the Treaty of General Agreement. Global immunity, security insurance, and free from liens and encumbrances in accordance with my special global account code number 01022740A, which belongs to me. The global account is the BMBSA's integral part and its current value is much higher, because of accrued interest since 1976. The said certificate was signed by then President Marcos as my legal counsel, and then Chief Justice Fred Ruz Castro, and others. In fact, the World Bank and the IMF were established by my father long before he became president on December 30, 1965, and Dr. Jose P. Rizal in the 1940s. As former chairman of the Association of Southeast Asian Nations ASEAN, you must acknowledge that my father commenced the first Manila Summit Conference, the very first ASEAN Summit, on October 24 to 25, 1966, and the Volcanic Summit Law on January 24 to 25, 1967. Lawfully earmarking $500 K.O.R.A.N followed by 42 zeros for the upcoming Divine Master Plan of the New World Society. I'm the sole implementer of the Divine Master Plan with reference to the BMBSA and the ECOSOC Article 55. Aside from the 400,000 metric tons of gold in the BSP, there are other vast resources intended for the Philippines' massive development and industrialization. along with the private sector, which is the AOWDMP and its subsidiaries, in lawful partnership with the public sector. Your administration can be a leader in the divine master plan's full implementation in the Philippines. You permitted the burial of my father's remains at the Libingan ng Manga Bayani. Letter to President Rodrigo Roa Duterte, April 3, 2018, page 6 of 7. Attorney Homer Bonoea Daza may confirm the authenticity of my ownership of the OCT-01-4, which is the real estate backup under the Master Plan for Economic and Peace Project Development as stated in the two similar certificates of entitlement officially issued by the CBP in 1976 and 1985. Your administration recently recognized the indispensability of providing home for the homeless. I and my AOWDMP's enthusiastic members strongly support your indefatigable philanthropic efforts. We hope that you will carry your endeavors further in partnership with us. It is our commitment to every responsible Filipino that no one is deprived of owning a property in their home country. All homesteaders, illegal settlers, and squatters will have the right to own lands. Our noble mission, my liberan palupa at pabahayang buhat responsibleng Pilipino. We stand ready to assist you in your efforts, when you officially decide to empower and dignify at least 100 million Filipinos who will perpetually remember you as the incorruptible brilliant president who has no evil cronies in your glorious administration, which is Macadius and Macatao. We are willing to wait for your expeditious response on our letter until April 30, 2018. Respectfully. Signed, Her Royal Highness King Tiburcio Villamor Marcus Tolano Tagian IV. Successor heir/owner/judicial administrator. Sole redeemer of Global Flat and Trust Accounts C1, C2, C19, 21, 777. Successor heir of OCTT-01-4/TCTT 408/G498. Hacienda Filipina Archipelago United Nations 7th Star Governor General. Sole signatory of the K.O.R.A.N. Codename TVMLSM 666. U.S. Treasury ID IC-60-847-9. Titular Decree 01-022-740A. Federal Reserve System ID C-60-84-79. Global Funder Trilateral Number 54-32-11-01-10. Co-Chairman the Committee of 300. Member G20 to 23H World LSM Alpha Omega. Chairman Trilateral Commission. Chairman Al Banco Espanol de Filipino de Esabel Segundo. World Chairman Alpha Omega World Development Mars Hall Program. Member the International Security Council of the United Nations. For further information, please contact me at tvmtalanas@gmail.com, my Skype name tvmlsm666, or my aide-de-camp Director General Jonathan E. Castaneda at jec.alphaomega@gmail.com. Letter to President Rodrigo Roa Duterte, April 3, 2018, page 7 of 7. Place. Libingan ng Manga Bayani. Date. August 28, 2017.